The engine is toast. We've got an engine ready to be put in, so let's see what she does.
Motor noises.
We did a low range.
Got us another parts truck. The only thing not for sale is the engine, but everything else you see is for sale. We're gonna do a full part out on it. It didn't come with the title, and the transmission was bad.
Bryce and Nolan screwing over there. cooperating with us. We actually need to be heating the manifold here, because if I'm heating just the bolt will expand from the heat and get tighter in there. So I think I need to be, and somebody, you know, watch for fires. I think I need to be hitting this manifold with the heat. Go for it. Stick shift, no shift, bitch. Get close and get some technicalities. I don't know if you picked up on camera or not, but there's lines on there from where it was machined. This is still fresh. This is still fresh flywheel. You can probably even hear the lines, I don't know. Now we're going to put this pressure plate and clutch back on and the transmission together.
Jarrett and Nolan are about to be mating.
Don't say it like that.
Don't say it like that.
Alright, only hold it for a second or two. Took the fuel pump out. So let's unhook that battery and let's turn it over by hand and let it run out real slow. Let's see what happens.
Stay right. Yeah. Yep. Right back up.
Right now?
I don't hear it. I don't see any leaks. Do you guys?
Yeah, it's clicking and everything.
Push that creator valve, see if fuel comes out. Or I can do it while y'all turn the keys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hold on. That is the first time it's held pressure.
Oh, we.
Put this bitch back together and fire it up.
Yes. Oh!
What was that?
What was that?
We still have other trouble. This thing has been a massive headache. Not just the swap, but after we got the swap done, it wouldn't run. Okay. Well, we found out we used the wrong fuse box. Put the right fuse box in there, finally got it to crank over and everything. Fuel pump would kick on, the door started dinging, and I was like, yes, we're on to something. But crank over, it wouldn't start. For some reason, it just poured fuel into the cylinders. So much so that when they took the spark plugs out, it ran out and was splashing on the ground. So much so that when the spark plugs was in there, the gasoline was seeping around the threads of the spark plug and keeping the edge of the block wet. That's how much fuel was in there. So much fuel that it was hydrolocking itself. That's bad. Okay, so we figured out this spider injector was a different spider injector than the engine we swapped in there. And it's hard to explain, but essentially the one that was in this truck to begin with had connectors on the injectors, and the one that we took out was the traditional plastic line with the plastic clips. All electronics was built into the bulkhead of the spider injector. So we swapped those out, no longer hydrolocking. For some reason, it was just allowing those injectors to stay open or something and fill the cylinders full of fuel. Swap that out, it's not happening now. But when we crank it over, the security light would come on. So Denny hooked up his scanner to it and it was saying it forgot its password. Well, we looked up how to reset the security password on there. Supposedly you gotta turn the key on, pretend to start it because it's not going to start anyways. You got to try and start it and then let off the key without turning the ignition off. Let it set for 10 minutes. The security light will go off. Then you turn the key off for 5 seconds. Turn it back on, try and start it. Let off. Security light will go off after 10 minutes. Turn the key off, repeat that 2 more times, and then it will relearn its password. So we just got done doing that process. We tried to start it again and it was cranking, but it sounded awful. It would crank, 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 slap, crank, 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 slap. So we dug into the spider injectors. We was like, well, maybe we got them crossed up and it's trying to hydrolock because it kind of seems like what's going on. They was all correct. We had them in there right. We've set the distributor twice on this thing, so we didn't think that's what it was. After checking the spider injectors that last time, we was like, one more time we're gonna check the ignition. We're gonna check the distributor. Pulled spark plug number 1 out over here. Turned it until it started pushing air out of it. And I was like, okay, let's shine the light on there to get our timing mark lined up with the timing cover on the engine to know when we're at top dead center. So we turned it until that line lined up and I said, stop. Now we got to set the distributor. Well, the distributor was set properly, obviously. We've been in there twice already. So we thought. Turns out that there is a second line on the harmonic balancer and it is just mere inches away from the original line that we was setting the timing with. So we was actually stopping and setting the timing of the distributor halfway through our compression stroke. So this time we realized that, and we turned it all the way to the second line, which is what the book, evidently, if you read on just a little bit further, it'll tell you about that. So we've got it set to the second line now. We're gonna set the distributor to where it's supposed to be, and I'll show you that in a second. And we're gonna put it all back together and test fire this thing successfully, finally, after dozens of headaches. Dozens of headaches. That's how I can rate that. Just dozens of headaches. Broken bolts and headaches.
Oh yeah.
We've got the bolt out that holds the distributor in place. We are essentially one notch off. If you move the light over here to the edge of the distributor cap, you'll see a little bulge right here in the edge of the molding of this. The distributor cap essentially needs to be pointing right there for when it's on top dead center cylinder 1. That gives you ignition when cylinder 1 is at top dead center. Now I'm going to pull it out and turn it and set it right back in place. One thing to note about these is you have to have them sit all the way down in there. And if it doesn't sit all the way down in there easily, you have to turn the engine over to turn the camshaft that turns the oil pump gear, that turns the distributor, and it will mesh the gears. You have to do that before you crank it over, or you could possibly destroy your camshaft gear or your distributor gear. Now we're going to turn the engine over just a little bit, and the distributor should drop into place. That's usually all it takes. There it goes. Drop down this then. Okay, line that mark back up. I think that broke me. Alright, turn it in reverse. Oh. Turn it to the right just a hair. You know, that's, yeah, it's just a hair. Just a hair. That does it? Yeah, that's fine. So now we can all safely say that it was my fault. Had to do it.
Get the spark plug to go in there.
What up? You guys gotta be thinking more. Look at that. While you're working on the job, you don't lose the magnet stick. Yeah, for real.
Stick it to the roof.
Danny's gonna hook up the scanner one more time, check and clear the code before we start it.
Okay, those 2 airbag codes won't go away, but
That's the only thing?
yeah.
How about the security?
No,
Nothing on the security.
no non-pass lock, powertrain, lighting go on, nothing.
You know what that means? Does that mean test fire?
You pull up, so you can break up.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
Nolan's first test drive of the 4-wheel drive 5-speed truck.
Getting ready to test out this truck. I'm just gonna pull it in. We're a gallon low on coolant. guys. How are we feeling?
We're all right. Feeling pretty good. Everybody's alive. Truck didn't burn all the way down, but it. That's the stock one, I bet you, because it's got all these foam strips on there. Direct replacement. So we're just gonna put some water in there and let it sit. See if we can find any leaks. Nolan put 14 foot-pounds of PSI on it with his mouth to test it. So now we're just doing a hydro test. Down here. Yeah, we got some action going on. Alright, Nolan. We have filled the old one up with liquid to see if it was gonna leak. And somewhere down in here it is staying really wet. And it's constantly dripping. How long do you think that was? 2 hours? Alright, here I go again. Keep back on there. Alright, let's push this old girl out. Ready? Yep. I turned it off, I just want to check. It started though. It did start.
I don't see
Look,
why
everybody look around it real quick. Just make sure. No smoke, right?
Nope. No fuel leak.
No drips down here.
How'd that feel?
Awesome. Clutch still needs bled a little bit, or work, or used. That was awesome.